It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Hertog Jan, and this is the Bockbier. Bockbier 2023, so it says on the neck. This one's coming in at 6.5% ABV in a dark, it's almost a black bottle, this one. Here is the bottle cap. Now, I like Hertog Jan beer. This was kindly sent to me by Paul and Michelle at Rate My Beer. Make sure to check out Rate My Beer. Fantastic YouTube channel on beer, perfect draft machines, lots of different lagers, lots of different everything beer related. So yeah, check out their channel. They were kind enough to send me this. But I've been a fan of Hertog Jan for a number of years, ever since somebody sent me, it must have been well over 10 years ago now, it was a stone, or what looked like a stone bottle, and it was so unique and it was so striking when I opened this box and I picked out this stone looking bottle. I was like, wow, this looks ancient, you know, this looks like before, like medieval type thing, you know, but probably, yeah, man, I'm not very good with history, but it looked really old, it looked really fascinating, and the beer in the actual stone bottle tasted great. So I'm looking forward to this. They're a Dutch brewery, and they've been brewing beer, but it says here, 1252, or 1290 to 1294. I think that might have been actual Hertog Jan, that person there on the label, rather than maybe the age of the brewery. But you know, you guys are a better expert than me. You're better off leaving a comment in the comments box and telling me all about the Hertog Jan brewery. So look at this for a beer. One finger, slightly off-white head. It is a very, very dark beer in the glass. Very, very dark beer in the glass. There's a little bit of a kind of a red hue. If you have a look at the bottom of the glass there, you might see a red hue coming through. But have a look at this beer as I rock it back and forth. Check this out. You can always tell when a beer's got really good body when you rock it back and forth. You can see that carbonation struggling to clamber through that head. Let's get the aroma. Toffee, rich toffee, hammer toffee. A nuttiness, a biscuitiness. A warming sensation. I know it's very difficult to kind of describe a warming sensation when you're getting your nose into the beer, but it feels like this is going to be a right kind of, it's going to hug you from the inside out, this beer. Dark fruits coming through. Bit of plum, bit of fig, bit of prune. Touch of licorice, touch of vanilla, touch of raisin. This beer smells absolutely fantastic. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Fantastic beer. Stone the Crows. It's, if I'm honest, it's a little bit thinner than I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit more of a mouthfeel, a little bit more of a richer, more mouth coating body to the beer. It's definitely thinner, but the flavours are there. The flavours are there to kind of to make up for the slight thinness in the beer. So the beer starts off, it's nicely carbonated actually. You get this little kind of hiss and fizz of carbonation. The beer gets pushed around the inside of the mouth. You're left with like biscuit tones, nuttiness, a little bit of licorice, a little bit of plum, a little bit of prune, touch of vanilla, raisin. A little bit dry as the beer finishes on your palate. There's a dryness there, but there's a nice amount of bitterness there too. So you've got that little bit of sweetness to begin with, that little bit of kind of richness. And that's coming from the malt, of course. And then you've got this kind of bitterness on the back end that just kind of balances everything out. A lovely balanced beer then. It's actually, I believe it's InBev. This is InBev, and I believe, of course, then it's the same company as Stella Artois. It is definitely the same company as Stella Artois. So when people, it's very easy to do that, isn't it? When people kind of, especially, I'm gonna not kind of hold back here. The likes of Stella Artois UK brewed, it's almost as if you could probably accuse InBev of not knowing how to brew beer, or not, like they don't know what they're doing. They know absolutely exactly what they're doing, and they know their market inside out. They know that the majority of people in the UK who drink Stella couldn't care less if it's UK brewed, if it's not the same as Belgian Stella, or if it's lower in the ABV. They know that. It's why they brew it, because they can get away with it. They're not silly people. What I'm trying to get at here is, this is a beer to prove that AB InBev absolutely know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. This is for the French, Dutch market, maybe Belgium, and they know that this is going to sell like hotcakes in places like France, Belgium, Netherlands. So they brew it. You brew for demand, don't you? You brew for kind of what people want. And there must be a market for this. Hence why they brew it. I wish it was available in the UK. I wish I could nip round the corner shop and pick up something as delightful as this over a can of Stella Artois. I can't. Maybe I'm living in the wrong country. That's delicious beer, absolutely delicious beer. There's not a bit of English, of course. This is not brewed for the UK, so there's not a bit of English on the back of the bottle. But interesting all the same. 6.5% ABV, fantastic beer. Again, thanks to Paul and Michelle at Rate My Beer for sending the beer. I'm gonna rate it. Apart from it being slightly thin, that would be my only criticism of this beer. So I'm going to say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.